there, welcome to Black Gumbo. Glad you could join me today for a real brief video. I'm going to plant some herbs. My wife really likes chamomile. We like to make some medicinal things and some syrups with it, and it's a real nice flower to have in your garden. I like the smell of it. So we collect the flowers and dry them. And we like basil too. Always got to have basil in the garden. But yeah, I didn't start seeds this year like I've said in prior videos. And usually I'll start my basil and my chamomile inside under the grow lights, but I didn't do that. So what I'm going to try this year is direct sowing. We're going to do a little experiment. I mean, these are seeds, they're supposed to grow. Problem with direct sowing, especially outdoors with these tiny little seeds, is you got to keep them moist as they're sprouting. You got to keep the soil fairly controlled, and outdoors in this climate, the top of the soil where these seeds are sown tends to get dry, so I'm gonna have to stay on top of it. I think we can. And so I'm gonna sow a lot of seeds in these little pots, and hopefully out of all the seeds we sow, several of them will come up and we can thin. So yeah, I prepared some pots, some plain old garden pots with some gardening mix. It's a very rich mix of peat moss and a little bit of topsoil, some perlite, some compost, and since this is a recycled garden mix that I have, I'm gonna water the seeds in with a fish fertilizer. I use a fish emulsion. It's a good low impact organic fertilizer, and I've got a video about that if you're interested. It's stinky. The dogs like it, so I have to keep it up out of her reach, and or she'll drink the stuff. So anyway, let me show you what I'm going to do. So chamomile is an old world annual herb, and it sets lots of small daisy-like flowers. It's a pretty hardy little plant. I mean, the stuff just lasts through our summers pretty well. It's easy to grow. The smell is delightful. It's unlike any other herb, really. It's a sweet aroma, and you know, after plucking the flowers, your hands are going to smell like you've just washed them. Well, chamomile has been a staple in our household for a number of years, but we've run out of dried flowers, so we're planting some more here. It's usually easy to grow. It's an old world herb that's considered beneficial for medicinal uses. It's also commonly used for scenting soaps and salves and using flavorings. In folk medicine, chamomile is traditionally associated with calming. It's got a light sedative effect, and it eases upset stomachs and menstrual pain, and some people believe it helps with all kinds of diseases and conditions. It helps some people with reducing inflammation and easing cold symptoms, and you pluck the flowers, you dry them, and the essential oils associated with the health benefits are there in those flowers, and so the dried flowers are most often used for making an infusion, a tea. So anyway, yeah, so what we're doing is we're preparing the pots with just a basic potting mix and keeping the tilth real nice at the top. And I'm going to sprinkle these seeds on. They're so small you got to sprinkle them. Be careful, they might blow away. And then we're gonna just water them in, and like I said, I'm gonna use a fish emulsion mixture to water these in, because this potting mix has been used before. It needs some fertilizer, and a fish emulsion is low impact enough that you can start seedlings with them. And so there we go. We're gonna water those in, and watch out for your dogs, because this fish emulsion stinks. So yeah, there we go. We'll see how it goes, and if we get some basil and some chamomile, then that's a good and working method. Thanks for joining me on Black Gumbo. I'm real glad that you have stopped by. Take care.